We're going live. Here we go. Screenwriters Beat. Woo!
Yeah.
Episode 6. Hello, hello.
Hi.
Hi. We're back again for episode 6 with our very talented group of working screenwriters. We have Eric Ingram.
Hello, everyone. Screenwriting World. I write actions and comedies, and finishing up apocalyptic fantasy as we speak.
Ooh, right now.
Right now.
You're typing with your free hand. Welcome, Heidi Mastrogiovanni.
Hi, thank you so much, you guys. Comedy is my thing, and my two favorite adjectives are smart and sexy.
Ooh. Yeah, that's all our characteristics, right?
Yeah.
And we have Jeff Burns. Hi, Jeff.
Hi, Ann, everybody. Great to be here. I just wrapped up season 2 of my Super Knocked Up superhero series, and I'm currently now working on a new. Thank you, sir. I'm currently working on a new series, which is a sci-fi time travel series about a female time cop.
Cool.
Ooh, I like that. Very neat. Margaret Risley, welcome back.
Hi, Ann and everybody. I write different things. I write supernatural horrors. I'm doing thrillers, and I'm doing a thriller for a producer at the moment. So yeah, good fun.
That's good. Never be pigeonholed. Nicole Jones-Dion, welcome.
Hello. So I have a couple different horror projects that are in various stages of development, and I'm prepping right now to direct my first short film. We'll be doing that next month, and I'm very excited about that.
Cool.
Awesome.
Congratulations.
Branching out, man. Can we start submitting things to you?
Let me get past the first one first, and then we'll talk.
Okay, we'll talk. And I'm Ann Kimbrough. I write contained action thrillers. And we've got to jump right in and get right to it. We've got a big topic this time. It's about budgets and how do you write to budget. And maybe we need to start by saying, can we give them some budget ranges? Maybe Nicole, do you want to give us the basic budget ranges you're out there dealing with?
Since I generally do horror, that usually falls under the $5 million range, and when you're trying to, and sometimes it's even lower than that if you're trying to go micro budget. It just depends, if they're trying to whatever SAG agreements they're trying to work around. And with that, it's like the main thing to look at are the number of locations, the number of speaking roles. Obviously, avoid water, children, and pets. Those tend to be the three big things that'll blow your budget up. But it's funny, with After Effects these days, you can get away with a lot more CG than you could have previously. So don't be afraid of special effects. It's mostly about practicals, the number of bodies in the scene and the number of locations. That seems to be the thing that drives it up the most.
Good advice. Margie, how about you? What have you found that helps write to budget?
I think, children is a big one, and pets, and outdoor night scenes. There's the one I'm working on at the moment. They're really wanting to cut back on the outdoor night scenes for sure. That's a big one. And explosions. Explosions are another one. Fire departments, safety, all that sort of thing. Yeah.
No, that's a good point. Jeff, you've also been out there filming your own web series. What have you found are budget breakers?
I have. So, the things that are going to, visual effects and big action scenes, explosions are going to push it up there. But here's the thing. So the stuff I do is like superhero stuff, like my web series is about superheroes and villains. By Hollywood standards, you would say that's over $100 million budget, right? The way I wrote the script. But I made the series for virtually no money. And if you look at it, I think the visual effects are pretty damn awesome. And we've even won awards for it because I have awesome visual effects guys. So like Nicole said, you can actually do really awesome visual effects nowadays. And you don't necessarily need to spend millions of dollars to do that. So some things you might think are going to break your budget, but maybe they actually won't, if you get a little creative and find people who are awesome. I guess that's the other thing, really knowing awesome people.
That helps. How about Heidi? How much do you have to be concerned that you might be writing something that the producer might not know they can film easily?
I would say when you're starting out, be very concerned. Be very, very concerned. Your first few spec scripts, keep them contained. Keep them something that can be done. You know what? Your first one, especially now with cameras the way they are, Make it yourself. Use the locations you have, and if you can make a short, you can make a feature. Do it. Get yourself out there. Certainly make a short. You can do that in a weekend.
Ask yourself, how could I film this?
Yes.
Then maybe it would fit a budget if you think you could do it.
Yes.
Yeah, that's good. Eric, how about you?
Everything that everyone said is just right on target. It's just very important that, you know, in our minds when we create it, we think like, oh my God, we need 50 extras to do this. Like, no, actually you don't. If you can make it, you know, one-on-one, a decent location during the day. Thank you, Margaret. That's a great question. Use natural light, stuff like that. Yes, you can definitely shoot it yourself. Absolutely.
Mm-hmm. I would also say. Oh, sorry. Go ahead. Yep.
I'm sorry. Can I just add one thing that I made a big mistake with my first spec script? I had music. I suggested music in it.
Oh yeah.
All of it's stuff that would have cost huge amounts of money for anyone to get. Don't do that. Learn from my mistake. Don't do it.
Don't do that. Yeah, I've also found that I wrote a contained action film, so the main bad guy was one of the main characters, as was the main good guy. And they're not together, because if they were, they'd kill each other. But your producer is going to want them to carry the movie, so they might have to have one person to talk to, but they can't have a whole bunch of people, because they're the main people. They got to do most of the acting. So that's a weird thing to think about, but your main characters need to drive the story. It seems obvious, but when you get in there and you start working with the other characters, you just can't have a ton of people with your good guy and a ton of people with your bad guy. Have you found that, Eric?
Yeah, actually, when I started at outline characters, I outlined 5.
That's good number.
Another show we could break down what those 5 are, but it's protagonist, you know, friend, you know, a boss, you know, stuff like that. But yeah, it's really best stories are told between about 5 people.
Yeah, I would say read or see the movie Hard Candy. They did really a lot with 2 people, but they were together, right? Nicole, you write a lot of smaller contained stuff too.
Yeah, and you know, and like kind of like what you guys were saying about like those secondary characters, if they don't need that line of dialogue, cut it, because you'd be surprised how much one line of dialogue for one background character can just balloon the budget, because you know, because of all the SAG requirements that are involved.
Right. Because don't they want to hire, like, in the producer's mind, it's okay to hire someone that's there for a day that looks the part. You don't want them to talk, though, because you don't know if you can get someone that'll sound the part, right?
And when we were shooting Dracula in Romania, they actually had all these Romanian background guys, and they tried to speak, but with the very thick Romanian accents, we just had to do ADR on everything, and it was kind of a mess. So, yeah, keep the background vocals to a minimum.
Exactly. And Jeff, since you're out there filming your own stuff, you're keeping it really tight as far as how many actors, right?
For season 1 of my series, we definitely did. I mean, really, the series is really about the hero and the villain, right? These 2 main characters, and I focus on that throughout the whole thing, which helps a lot. I'll be honest with you, though, season 2, we had a lot more characters than season 1. I got much more ambitious. We had a slightly bigger budget, which is still nothing, but better than season 1.
Double nothing budget.
Yeah, double nothing is. So yeah, but I'll be honest with you, that it was definitely more challenging, you know, and we did some bigger scenes. So season 1 was much easier. I'll say that to shoot for sure.
Well, and Heidi, I know that you're doing stuff that's Guild, right? Or is it also on a SAG waiver?
It's on a SAG waiver. It is Guild, and we work with what we have. We got a beauty salon because one of our crew has a mother who owns a beauty salon. Work with what you have. Do it as cheaply as you can. Get a Costco card. Do your own craft services. Make it.
Make it. Wow, that's cool.
Yes, Gorilla. Yes.
Gorilla, what was it, Eric?
Gorilla filmmaking, that's right. No, that's
it's good to keep in mind when you're writing for a budget. And all of us are writing in that middle range to lower, and someday breaking bigger, I'm sure. But if you can write to budget, they can make anything expensive.
Yeah,
that's easy. Cool. Hey, we're going to move on to a little show and tell, because you did it so well before. I'm waiting to do it again. And this one is about showing us how you storyboard. Are you outline? Do you have some big boards? I've got some on my walls. I'm not going to show you. I pulled one down. Eric, how about you? Do you use the board?
No, I don't use the board. I do do index cards, but I also have a movie outline software.
That's cool. You took it all to, digital.
I went digital. Yeah,
You're cutting edge.
I sold out. I'm sorry.
Do you ever have to print them out, or you're not? It's all right there. You can get it all. You got a big screen.
Yeah. I got a big monitor, 24-inch monitor, and we can move things around and change colors and all that kind of stuff.
Oh, cool. I like that. Heidi, do you have any visuals to show us?
I do. I can't. I'm scared to switch my laptop around because I'm terrified of technology on some level. But I have the board that is outlined in Save the Cat in your book. And I believe this comes from our wonderful mentor, Hal Crozman. So I have the lists, the rows of the acts. And in the second act row, I have written, exhaust your main character until they have no choice but to change.
That's great.
Every story is about relationships and transformation.
Yeah. Excellent. Jeff, how about you?
Yeah, I don't use any certain program. I'll be honest with you. I just do everything in Microsoft Word. And I pretty much follow, again, what Hal showed us. I think we're all alumni of the Pro Series, which is a great place called Screenwriting U. And just, exactly. Oh, yeah.
Our sponsor.
Yeah. ScreenwritingU.com. All right. So, yeah, I just lay out, pretty much the basic steps, like from, intro, inciting incident, all the way through climax and resolution first. And then every scene, I'll just put down a slug line and then just one short description of every scene. But I just do that in Microsoft Word. So I don't use any cards or anything. It's all digitally for me.
Keeps it simple. Margie, how about you? Do you use the boards?
My family call me the tech queen because I'm so into everything technology, but except for this, I use old screenwriting index cards, and I set them out. I set them out on the floor, lay them out on the floor. Act 1, Act 2 up to the midpoint, end of Act 2 up to the turning point, Act 3. I put color tags to follow plot lines, and the visual thing is fantastic. I just find the whole thing laid out on the floor in front of me, and I walk around and I'm thinking, I move things around. It's fantastic. I love it.
That's cool. It's like you're in the story. Remember I think those from Friends.
And the physical movement, instead of just sitting at my computer, moving around the story, I just find that it's so much more involving. Yeah, I love it.
Terrific. Nicole, what do you do?
I could never do the note cards on the floor because my dogs would think that was the best game ever. No, I'm like Jeff. I do everything in Word. I never got into the note cards. Partly because I'm juggling so many projects at any given time. I would have note cards all over the place, but on my computer, it's all there. It's mobile. I can take it wherever I need to go. And then I tend to follow, a little bit of, we talked about, Save the Cat in the last session, and then a little bit of Christo's, mini movie method, and then I use that to build my outlines and just do everything in Word.
Yeah, I use both of those as well. I have the boards, which are more reminders. I pulled one down. It has, wait, that's the wrong word.
It's way back here. This is what I'm talking about. Multiple.
Big board. My whole thing is that I write everything down, and then it's down. I move on, and I also crash. I also got one of these big blotters. You put on your desktop.
Oh,
so
yeah.
it's a big blank sheet, so I'll outline everything that way too. I find it when I'm writing novels, it comes in really handy because there's many more parts, much more inner dialogue. But it's mostly something to get it out of my head, and then I just go write. Maybe I'll look back at it once in a while.
Right, get it out of your head. That's the biggest.
Get it out of your head. Well, that's cool. It's fun to see what everyone does. It's all different, isn't it? We also have an audience Q&A today. Actually, I kind of pulled this as from the common question file because I'm around the internet and I see a lot of questions and I would love to answer them for everybody, but who am I to just say? So all of us are the ones that get to say, right? And this is one that you hear a lot. It's how do you get an agent or manager, and when do you need an agent or manager, and Do you need an agent or manager? We'll start with, well, actually, any one of you could answer this completely, so save a little for everybody. We'll start with Nicole.
I guess the short answer is you don't really need one. You can, I don't have representation right now, and I'm getting plenty of work on my own. And the fact is, even if I had an agent or manager, I'd still be going out and getting a lot of my own gigs anyway. They'd just be taking 10%. So, yeah, before you go out and think that you really need one, make sure that you've got a good body of work that's in place and it's all solid, marketable scripts. And yeah, and then good luck.
Cool. Margie, same, and yeah, we should probably say if we have, anyone here have representation? Or are we doing it all ourselves?
No, I don't have representation, and at this stage I don't feel that I need it, but it'd be nice if somebody wants to offer. Yes, I'm open.
You're open? It's like you shake your head no as well.
Sorry, me?
Sorry?
Oh,
Yeah.
sorry. I don't have it either right now. I certainly thought about it though. I will say this after, and Ann, you and I have talked about this offline, but after doing a couple seasons of Super Knocked Up and luckily getting some awards and some buzz for that, I think it would be easier for me probably if I tried to do it now than if I tried to do it a couple years ago before I had done that.
Well, I agree. Heidi, don't you feel like you got to have something that you've already done before you can even think about getting a manager?
Absolutely. What everyone said, have marketable stuff, have several projects, and again, you know, I harp on this, get it made, get it out there. You never know who's looking at your website, who's looking at your Facebook page, who's looking at your Twitter account. There are so many avenues to market yourself. You have to be a creative person and you have to be a business person as well. And the agent and manager wants to see that you generate work.
That's true. And Erica, if you were going out there and said, I need an agent, I need a manager, how many scripts do you need? One, two?
Don't even consider an agent or a manager until you have 3 tight ones. Don't even consider, and I don't care. For every overnight success, I promise you, they have 6 to 7 other scripts. You know what I mean? It's not their first. Every now and then you might see someone hit a home run on their first one, but they also wrote novels, so it's not really their first one. You know what I mean? They just kind of transfer the skill over to Screenwriters. But it's very important to almost wait until you have to have one. You know what I mean? When you're getting so many calls and so many scripts got to go out and so many people want to meet you and so many, then you might need one. But up until then, do everything that everyone else is telling you. Get on out there, make the calls yourself. It'll teach you to put on a different hat other than the writer. Which is you learn the language of the business.
And if I can kind of jump in real quick, because I had an agent and manager when I was first starting out, and I made the cardinal error that I think a lot of people do, which is I'm like, oh, well, they're going to sell my stuff for me. My job now is to stay home and write brilliant scripts. And that was not the case at all. They expect you to be out selling the projects for you. You know, you have to be your own advocate. You can't sit around and even if you do have representation, you have to get out there and market yourself and market your work. You can't leave it up to someone else because it's your career and you need to control it.
I think it's all great advice. Does anyone here have an agent or manager? I don't think any of us do.
No,
yeah,
I have one. I fired mine.
You had one. You had one.
I had them. You had one before. Yeah.
Right. Well, and I agree that then what you've done is you do it yourself. We all do it ourselves. And at the point when they're coming knocking on your door, then you're probably ready for one.
Yes.
No, really, because I think a lot of times I love Heidi for this because she always says, think long term. Think long term. Not the home run hitter, not the one hit wonder. Think long term. And the more you know about the business, the better scripts you will write, the better relations you'll make, and then you're in the flow. But until you are seriously, like I said, putting out like 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 scripts, just do it yourself.
Well, I like to steal something from Hal Crozman from Screenwriting You, is that what you should be looking for is champions of your work. Yep. And it doesn't have to be someone you're signed on, right? Nice. So find those champions, and that's how it happens.
Nice. Yeah. And can I add one thing too?
Yes. Cool.
Whenever you approach anyone, an agent, a manager, a champion, make sure you show them that you are easy to work with. Do not be difficult. Don't be difficult.
Right. No egos. We like to say
egos.
that, right?
Collaboration. Work together.
That's good. Well, I hope that definitively answers that question for all of us.
Yeah, and I mean, just one last little thing to add. It's like, I know a lot of people think that you have to have the agent or manager, but I've met big A-list writers who do it themselves. So it's not mandatory. It doesn't matter where you are in your career. You can get by without one. You really can.
That's excellent point. We've come to the end of another episode. I know. Well, if you guys want, I was going to have everyone close with your own catchphrase or one slightly gently borrowed from a famous catchphrase. Eric's pulling a face, or you can just tell us something good. Give us some good news. We'll start with Nicole Jones-Dion.
I'm going to do another shameless plug. I did this in the last episode too. But my short film, Devil's Deal, go find us on Facebook and like us. That'd be great.
Cool. I love that. Margaret Risley.
I'm going to borrow from Albert Einstein. It says, logic will get you from A to B. Imagination will take you everywhere. And I think that really applies to screenwriting.
It definitely does. I love that. Jeff Burns?
So I also host a weekly Google Hangout. It's called Super Geeked Up. We talk geeky topics, play fun games, and have awesome web series guests on. We do that every week. So please go to youtube.com/SKU web series. That's where you can get all the super knocked up and super geeked up stuff you'd ever want. And we always close with stay super geeked up. That's how we close our shows. That's my catchphrase. Cool.
It's a great show. I've been on it.
You've been on it, yeah.
I've been on it, and you've taught me everything I know about Google Hangout. I wouldn't be doing this if I hadn't been on your show.
Yay, Jeff!
And Heidi Mastrogiovanni, what can you tell us?
I would like to quote the great French playwright Molière, who said, "The duty of comedy is to correct men by amusing them."
Ooh. That could apply more than just comedy, but Molière knew what he was talking about.
Like
Eric Ingram?
Cheese and wine. You should have some cheese and wine when you say that one right there.
Yeah, the second we hang up, baby. The second we hang up.
Or at least the wine.
Right,
yeah.
It's a bit early here for wine, but I'm with you in spirit.
Yeah, right. It's a breakfast time for you. Eric, what's happening?
I will leave you with the verse from the most wonderful book ever written, the Holy Bible. The Lord did not give you a spirit of fear, but a power, love, and a sound mind. He gave you the power to go do what you got to do. He gave you enough love in your heart to go through it. He gave you a stable mind to be patient and do what you have to do. So that's kind of, I have a page called the Love Movement. That's why this spiritual thriller is a bigger thing for humanity. That's what it's about mankind. So there's a page called the Love Movement, and it's really about spreading God's love through the world. So go there, do that, but stay inspired, keep your spirit right, and I'm telling you, ideas will come forever.
They come. I love that. Oh, that's heartfelt. Yeah. Well, mine I'm borrowing from something. It's is that a screenplay in your pocket, or are you just happy to see me?
Oh, great. Great.
Roger Rabbit. I think that's been around for a long time.
Especially here in LA.
Yeah, I don't know how I think of them. But thank you so much, my wonderful, talented panel of working moms.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you, guys.
Another great episode, and we'll see everybody again. Be sure to subscribe and like our show, because we'll keep coming back with some good information.
Yay.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.
Thanks. Bye.